Alright, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make the computer automatically draw perfect shapes. Now, we've created our first project in the previous video, and in the beginning of this video, I'm going to make sure we have the right things set up. Actually start adding any code. So first, I'm going to go at the top, and I'm going to name my project, and I'm going to make this auto draw. That is because we're going to make the computer automatically draw very interesting shapes for us. Now, this project will only contain a single sprite, and this sprite currently has the shape of A. You probably remember this famous cat when you create projects in Scratch. I'm going to go here at the sprite area over here, and I'm going to name the sprite pencil or cursor, because we are going to remodel the sprite into the shape of a pencil and make the pencil move on screen automatically. Now, apparently, this pencil sprite currently has the shape of a cat. So I'm going to go to the Costumes tab over here on the top left. And currently, the sprite has two costumes, both in the shape of a cat. We're going to remove both. But first, I'm going to go to the bottom here and click on this cat icon to choose another costume. And you will get to this window over here where you can search for potential costumes that Scratch automatically has uploaded for you. And I'm going to hit the search bar and I'm going to search for pencil. So I'm going to write pencil here, and you will have two potential choices here for the pencil costume. Pencil and Pencil B. I personally prefer Pencil B, but you can pick the other one if you like. So once I click the pencil, I automatically add this costume to the sprite currently. Notice that it's quite big. If you look at the stage, the pencil looks quite ginormous. So I'm going to work with these magnifying glass icons to zoom in and out of this canvas so that I have the pencil here in my view. And I'm going to drag a rectangle such that it covers the entire pencil. And we have a rectangle here, which is the selection of a pencil. And I'm going to drag the corner of one corner of the rectangle until the pencil becomes a little bit smaller. So, something like this. Alright, so drag it until the pencil looks an acceptable size on your canvas, and then drag this costume up to the point where the tip of the pencil almost touches the cross here in the middle of the canvas. So, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you probably remember from the previous part of our Scratch journey in our Paint application. We did a very similar thing where we moved the pencil up to the point where the tip touches this little line, cross.u. This little cross of U, remember, is the center of the sprite. So if we move the sprite to a given set of coordinates, this cross, this imaginary cross, will move to that coordinate, and the costume will be drawn with respect to that. And we want the tip of the pencil to be at those coordinates. All right. So I hope that makes sense. So, after you've created and moved the costume and resized it such that it looks acceptable, you can go ahead and click on the other costumes that look like a cat, and you can delete them both. You can click this little trash icon over here to remove the costumes. All right. Now, the last thing that this is optional. The last thing that I'm going to do is rename this costume from Pencil B to Pencil, because the sprite name is Pencil, and I want the costume to be named Pencil as well. This is not that important. We are only going to have one costume, so it doesn't really matter how it's called. But we are quite done with our sprite, and we are going to keep this sprite throughout this entire project. And we will make this sprite, this pencil, move automatically on screen and draw perfect shapes for us. So the next thing that I'm going to do is maximize this window so that you don't see anything else on screen. And I'm going to go to the bottom left of the screen here at this icon where you have an extension to be added. And I'm going to add the pen extension from Scratch. You probably remember that from the moment when we created our application to draw anything we like. All right. So this pen section will include a bunch of blocks that we can use to program this sprite. And I'm going to start first by dragging the UN flat click block from the Events section. So when the flag clicked, I'm going to set the color of the pencil to a color of your choice. I'm going to use black, for example. So I'm going to go to and I'm going to drag this block here to set the pen color to black. So I'm going to decrease the brightness until the color becomes black. Now, after I've set the color of the pencil, now I also want to set its size first. So I'm going to drag this last block over here, set pencil size, and I'm going to set it to 1. This is the thinnest pencil that you can create. You can change this value here from 1 to any value that you like. But I'm going to use the value 1 for the remainder of this video. Okay. So I have created these on this little script that sets the pen color to black and sets its size to the thinnest possible. Now, I'm also going to go to motion here. And I'm also going to bring the block, go to x0 and we are 0. If you remember, x equals 0 means the center of the horizontal dimension that is in the middle between the left and the right side of the screen, and y equals 0 is the middle between the top and the bottom part of the screen. So if you go to x equals 0 and y equals 0, then that means the exact center of the screen. So if I move this sprite anywhere, if I drag it, and then I click the flag, notice that the tip of flag, the pencil is in the exact center position of the screen. This is where we want to start. Good. So right now we have a small script that resets the pencil to the center of the screen. Now I'm going to show you how to make the pencil draw a straight line automatically. So here goes. Now we're going to make the pen draw a straight line when we press a key on our keyboard. So I'm going to go to the Events section, and I'm going to drag the second block when some key is pressed. And I'm going to change from space to the letter A. You can pick any key you like. I'm going to simply pick A because it's an easy key to remember. So when we press the key, we are going to make the pencil draw a straight line, not, for example, to the right. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to pen, and I'm going to say pen down. And you probably remember what pen down does. The sprite will start to draw from this point. So when this block is executed, the sprite will start to draw. Now, I'm going to tell the sprite this pencil to move in a straight line. Say pen up so that the sprite is finished drawing. So I'm going to bring this pen up block. I'm going to put it right under the pen down. And in between these two blocks, I'm going to tell the sprite to move somewhere else. So I'm going to go to motion, and then I'm going to bring in the very first move block. So I'm going to say move 10 steps. I'm going to place it right between these two green blocks. So when we press the key, the sprite is going to start drawing, is going to move 10 steps to the thing, right in this case, and then it's going to lift the pen up from the canvas, from the stage over here, where the sprite is about to draw. And just to make it super clear, I'm going to change the number of steps from 10 to 30 so that we can see a straight line on the screen. Now, if you want to test it, you can click this script over here. Just click it and notice that the sprite has laid down on the stage a straight line automatically. For us, the straight line is in the amount of 30 steps. You can make this bigger if you like. So you can increase the number from 30 to, say, 100 if you want. 100 if you like. So I'm going to click the script again. And when I click it, the pencil will move from its current position to the right with 100 steps, and then it would lay down another straight line. Look at that. Okay, so notice that the sprite has automatically drawn a straight line for us. And if you want to clear everything, I'm going to go to the pen section at the bottom of the sections here, and I'm going to drag this erase all button. And I'm going to drag it right underneath when flag clicked, so that when you click the green flag, you get an empty stage. So click the flag and the pencil resets it back to its original position, and everything is white again. All right, so far, we've learned how to draw a straight line automatically. Now, with these straight lines, you can build much more interesting things. You can draw, for example, shapes like squares. So here's what I'm going to do when we press the A key. I'm going to make this right automatically. Draw a square in the length of 100 steps. So far, the pencil can only draw one straight line, but we can draw 4 straight lines in a certain succession, such that by the end of the script, we will have drawn a square. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to say pin down, move 100 steps. So the sprite will move 100 steps to the right. If we want to draw a square, we will have to draw the next line down, not right. So I'm going to go to motion. And I'm going to make the sprite turn. And I'm going to make the sprite turn by 90 degrees. 90 degrees means a straight angle. And then I'm going to tell the sprite to move 100 steps again. So I'm going to say move 100 steps. So the script says move 100 steps to the right, then turn 90 degrees. So the direction is now downwards. And then I'm going to move 100 steps downwards, and then I'm going to raise my pen. So if I simply click on the script. Notice that the pencil very quickly has drawn 2 straight lines in the amount of 100 steps. Now, if we do these operations 2 more times, that is turn 90 degrees, move 100 steps, turn 90 degrees, and move 100 steps, we will have completed a full square. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in the turn block. I'm going to say turn at 90 degrees. And at this point, we are ready to draw the third side of the square. So I'm going to bring in another move block right below. I'm going to say move 100 steps. I'm going to bring in another turn block, turn 90 degrees. So this is these 2 last blocks will draw the third side of the square. And then I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm going to say move 100 steps, and then so I'm going to say turn 90 degrees. So your block should look like move, turn, move, turn, move, turn, move, turn. And in total, we are going to draw a full square. So here's how we are going to see this on the canvas. Now I'm going to click on the flag over here, but notice that our pen is in a weird position. It's kept the same position that we had after drawing 2 sides of the square. We need to change that. So I'm going to go to my top script, and I'm going to add the pointing direction block at the bottom. And I'm going to say point in direction 90. In the 90 degrees, if you remember, means to the right. So whenever we tell the sprite to move 10 steps, it will move 10 steps to this direction, to the right direction, right direction. And after it draws the first side of the square, we tell the sprite to turn 90 degrees, meaning adding 90 more degrees to the direction, meaning that it will then point down. And then, with another 90 degrees, it will point left, and with another 90 degrees, it will point up again. And then at the very end of the script, we will turn 90 more degrees to point it to the initial direction. So if you add all of these degrees that we rotate, we add 90 degrees plus 90 degrees. That's 180 degrees. Plus another 90 degrees. That's 270 degrees. And then finally we add another 90 degrees. That's in total 360 degrees, which is a full rotation to the initial position. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So we added point and direction 90 to our top script. So when we click the flag again, the sprite is in the original direction dictated by the costumes. And notice that the costume is a little bit inclined. So this is how the sprite naturally looks like. And after we turn the sprite in various directions with these 90-degree turns, we will make the sprite draw the 4 sides of the square. So if you hit the 8 key on your keyboard, or if you click the script, the sprite will draw a perfect square in a snap. So click now. This square appeared almost magically on the stage, and the sprite did not appear to move. Now, in reality, this code, the script over here, was executed so fast that you didn't have time to catch its changes. So just to demonstrate how the script actually works, you don't have to do what I'm doing. So just to watch what I'm doing, I'm going to add some weight blocks in between these moves, introns. So again, you don't have to do this. I'm going to add these weight blocks to demonstrate how the sprite actually works. I'm going to click the flag, which resets everything to white. And if I hit the E key, notice that the sprite actually performs each side in turn, knots. Because I added these weight blocks in between. Now, without the weight blocks, the computer will execute the script so fast that you won't have time to see the changes, which was what happened 10 seconds ago. So, I'm going to remove these weight blocks again. All right. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to remove the weight block again. So notice that we have just moved her and moved her and moved. Turn, move, turn. And this script is executed so quickly that you don't have time to see the changes. But rest assured, the computer does whatever you tell it to do. All right, so you've learned something new. You made a sprite automatically draw your first perfect shape. Join me in the next video where I'm going to show you how you can draw more interesting perfect shapes.